Good morning. It took me a long time to get to this so you can understand it. I started school at the Hay Primary in February 1932 and I finished in 1938. Just to put it in the right era, there were only 6 million people in Australia at that time, and you've now got 25. And from my parents' point of view, or our parents, we'd just gone through the worst recession, 28 to 31, and we get to February 38 and there were the rumblings of the drums for the problems that later happened in Europe. But being a young 5, born in November, I came to school without a chaperone. I didn't need any introduction. My brothers had told me how good this was. The teacher was a Miss Neil Me in kindergarten, and a Miss Gardner, I believe, was in the first. And the peculiar thing here, both those teachers married local gentlemen. So it was a very settled kindergarten, or what I will refer to as the little end. It was all fun. Moving to class 2, and I'm going to go through it in this way because this is the very difference to what I'm witnessing today. The red and the blue book were easy, but I had a bit of a strange characteristic to resist instruction. And of course, when it got to elocution, the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. It's a red fox. He has no friends. My dogs would have chased, or our dogs would have chased him. So that was all nonsense. I moved on to class 3, and to get a local influence here, and I must say the classes start to increase in size. They're somewhere up in the high 30s and going towards 40. But my teacher was Muriel Margaret Rutledge, a great aunt of Paul's, if he's here. She, on an occasion after she retired, made mention that the 1935 class was the best arithmetic class she taught in her career. And the principal, to give you some example of what you really achieved, Stan Worthington, the son of the windmill expert, was headhunted by the banks at Fourth High, didn't do his leaving certificate, ended up the second in command, the National Australia Bank, one of the big 4, educated at your or our Hay Primary. Harry Patterson, the son of the nuisance inspector, I love that term, for the municipality, ended up managing BHP, Broken Hill Proprietary's head office at Wollongong. Quite significant achievements for somebody that had been educated in Hay. 4th class, a legend you'd probably all know. Probably some have referred to him as the Mr. Chips Mark II. Sam Willis taught both myself and my wife. Sam, I can guarantee, brought rugby league to the primary school, and for those Magpie supporters, he also brought it to home. 5th class, I'll skip. The headmaster was Mr. Mooney, and unfortunately he left in 1937. He was a returned soldier of the First World War, a very strong disciplinarian, and run a wonderful school. Now the strange feature here though, he had the only car that the staff possessed in our time. It was something like a T model Ford, flat black in colour, fabric hood and ties, drank handle. We in jest used to say it was started by hand, where you shook hands with it. Mr. Campbell was later my teacher in 6A. The class that got that big, we then divided them. Dressed in what I would call Victorian wear, stiff, heavily starched collar, bow tie, had a slogan, never drink and never gamble and be a man like Mr. Campbell. I got 50%, is that a pass? The class would have been drawn, or the school would have been drawn entirely from the town. From Coke Street to West Hay, to about 8 houses in South Hay, and a rather virile irrigation area which supplied all the dairy, all the local milk and the butter factory. There are family names there like the Bairds, the Mitchells, the Farlows, the Jarretts, and there was a strange group called Hedenville. The cunning.
No.
I can't let my time go past without the cane. Thank goodness you dropped it later on. It was a barbaric way of controlling class. It was administered just for beating in class or slight misdemeanours. But I've got to confess I got it in my time. And in a room nothing like this. A wooden building on the east of the school. The whole assembly was there because I think there was a fumigation or something going on at the front. So I was with a couple of other boys to keep them under, to supervise them. It was going pretty well. They started to get a bit restless, so I looked around and I thought, there's some old timber there. I grabbed a couple of sticks and started to impersonate Pinocchio playing The World Owes Me a Living. This brought all heads to the front, I thought. But then I woke up and some of the little ones started to laugh. Right behind me was a senior teacher. Yes, misconduct and failure to discharge my duty. But we didn't talk about the pain of the cane. We talked about how well they gave it. And the most effective ones are the ones that got right at the end of the finger. The school ground, when I look at today what you've got, we were very austere. On that south-western corner, there were still some buildings of the old school, and they were domestic science for the girls and woodwork and tech drawing for the boys, but that was for the high school. And the headmaster's cottage, a very austere building, tucked in behind, just a single gate to Leonard Street. And then there was another building right down the bottom end, I think for staff, which was all the staff were single. They didn't want a full house, so like the Isaac family got that in the end. But here's the one that really hurt. Where we're standing now, or sitting now, these were private dwellings within inside the school area. That one was occupied by a policeman. The Honeyman family, Les Honeyman, and many people here, fronted Balaclava Street. And the brown couple that had little flower garden was there. And all that north-eastern section was flood prone. There was no room for any active sports. It was a BYO for cricket, probably put the stumps up against the headmaster's fence. If somebody had a bat, we'd have a bit of a slob. Bring your own football. The girls did better, as often happened. They had the round ball for captain ball and netball and tunnel ball, etc. But there was no real sporting activity in the room. I think the most popular thing up would have been marbles for the boys. And over on a well was about there. Top was jacks for the girls, which was the knuckle bone down to the sheet, you threw them up with certain high coordination. And if Daddy Hannah has any relation to you, Daddy was the chair. But there were also some maypoles. I was trying to tell myself that I never been a maypole. But when jotting down my notes, I found myself humming the song. There once was a princess. So I would be guilty. The main sport, really, or the annual sport, we competed with St Mary's, an athletics carnival in the park, and a footy or cricket on that presbytery block that faces Pine Street and Moffat Street. But that was the only activity. Admittedly, St Mary's had 3 high school classes. They didn't have many of them. We had a few repeats who were pretty big kids, so we let that count. I had 2 lessons, I think. I'm losing my sight. There were 2 lessons I would like to refer to, Miss Madam Principal. And one was on migration. In our history book, we had a large area devoted to the migration policy, where you were the teacher was supposed to teach a totally undesirable policy whereby an applicant could refuse entry on a biological difference. And if that wasn't enough, you get a written examination where the questions were that hard to bring about obvious failure. Thank goodness we dropped that policy, and when you look today at our wonderful multicultural society, we were on the wrong track in 1937. The other little one I want to leave you with, Matthew Flinders, in his Tom Thumb, circumnavigated Australia. He got to South Australia, he got to Galway. An estuary, the mouth of the Murray River, it was blocked with sand. How long ago was that? There was no development in the Murray-Darling Basin of any kind, no weirs, no irrigation policy. And here we are today, still in argument how we're going to do this, still trying to suggest with the all very important freshwater, very expensive freshwater, they are asking us to flush that sandbar. That is for you to solve. I'm going to the garden in the sky. Madam Principal, I thank you sincerely for inviting me to join in this celebration today. I can assure you I was a bit reluctant at the start, but I'm very pleased to be with you to celebrate 150 years. I believe it absolutely important that we collect our history and we celebrate it in this nation. There are people my age that have lived for a third of colonial settlement. So the history is easy to collect. We are not an old, or should be easy to collect. We are not an old country. For goodness sake, let's collect it, let's celebrate it. And I leave you with the good wishes, Principal, that you continue with the rather excellent education you've given our junior personnel, and I wish you to be able to continue that much into the future. My own message is that a good education is a capital expenditure. Thank you.